Previously, it is known to us in electrostatics that when there are many methods by which we can make two objects oppositely charged. One is negative charged object, the other one is positively charged object, and that occurs by changing the number of electrons in the object. If in any object there are comparatively greater number of electrons, that is called negative object or negatively charged object. The other, from where the electrons move outwards, suppose these electrons move into this object, then there are excessive number of cations here, and that is called positively charged object. And when this happens, we can assume this event hypothetically or imaginarily in a reverse way. Electrons are true movers. They can move through. But if we hypothetically assume that the cations move from this object to that object. Now when cations start moving, the previously present cations start repelling them, and against that repelling force, when each electron moves into this object, each cation when it starts moving against that repelling force applied by the cations present already in this object, each cation does some work, and that work is positive work, since the displacement is against the repelling force, and against the work is positive work. So some amount of energy due to that positive work starts depositing in this object, and the energy level starts decreasing in this object. That means the positively charged object has a higher energy level and it is lower energy level. If these objects has a difference in energy, and if we connect these two objects with any metallic conductor, what happens? Now from previous occasion, this metallic conductor also contains large number of free electrons. Free electrons are those which come out of their respective parent atom and stay freely in the interatomic space. Those free electrons immediately get attracted by these cations and start moving towards that direction, leaving some space vacant, and to fill up those vacant spaces, these electrons start flowing. That means there is a continuous flow of electrons starts from this direction to that direction. This is called flow of free electrons. Now we hypothetically can assume this whole event as the flow of cations from this object to that object, and this flow of cations, commonly called as electric current. And the direction of electric current then will always be considered as from direction of positively charged object towards the direction of negatively charged object. So for a flow of electric current, constant flow of electric current, we must have a difference in energy levels between two objects. And that difference in energy level we artificially generate by several methods, like by using some chemical compounds like in electric cell, or by using magnetic field in a generator. And probably that is the most important thing in current electricity, that is called energy difference or potential difference. Now first, what is charge? It is that factor by which a force of attraction or repulsion acts between two objects. We know electrolysis. There is an electrolyte. There are two electrodes, cathode and anode. And suppose the electrolyte used is silver chloride, solution of silver chloride. And this is connected to positive charge terminal, and this is connected to negative charge terminal. And when electrolysis starts going, then this silver chloride starts breaking or ionizing to silver ion and chloride ion, and the silver ion gets attracted by the cathode, this one, and it starts moving towards cathode, and by accepting electrons, this silver ion, by accepting electron from cathode, turns to silver atoms and start depositing on that cathode. By flowing what amount of charge, by what amount of energy, flowing through the electrolytic solution of silver chloride, this amount of silver gets deposited on cathode is called 1 coulomb, which is the unit of charge. By what amount of flowing of charge through the electrolyte of silver chloride solution, this amount 0.00118 gram of silver gets deposited on cathode, that amount of charge is 1 coulomb. The next topic is current. The rate of flow of charge. The rate of flow of charge. Rate means we have to compare the flow of charge with time. That means current. If in t seconds I current as q amount of charge flows, then in 1 second the amount of charge flows is q by t. So current is equal to charge by time. Its unit is ampere. Ampere. In short, denoted by capital A. So 1 ampere is equal to, charges unit is coulomb, and it is usually symbolized by small or capital Q. So 1 coulomb by 1 second, that is 1 coulomb per second. 1 coulomb. And if this is the unit of 1 ampere, and if you try to define it symbolically, then current's symbol is I, and that is equal to Q by T. Now probably the most important topic in the whole chapter, that is potential. Why this is most important? Probably most important because this is the driving thing which is responsible for doing everything, for flowing the current. What is that? Suppose there is a crowd of cations somewhere, large gathering of cations somewhere, and a single cation is brought to this location from infinity. So as this cation gets getting closer and closer, the repulsive force of these cations will be bigger and bigger, and against their repelling force, when this cation displaces, it does some work, and that work is stored at this location in the form of energy, and that is called potential. So it can be defined as the work done on bringing a unit positive charge from infinity up to any point in a conductor. So this cation is brought from somewhere to somewhere. So as a result, suppose this cation is brought from infinity up to this point. So the energy starts increasing here, and according to the conservation of energy, the level of energy must decrease there, because the total energy of there and here must be same. As a result, when the energy level decreasing there, increasing here, there it must decreases. That means there should be a difference in energy, which is called potential difference. Suppose here is a conductor, there is a location inside the conductor as A, and it is at B, as B, and a unit positive charge is brought from B to A. That means the energy level will increase here and decrease there. If the potential at A is VA and at B is VB, then obviously VA greater than VB, and there should be a difference in potential. Now if this potential is kept constant, it only means that the conductor is not connected to any source of charge or any source of electrical energy. That means it is in open circuit. Suppose there is a source and there is a key. the key is not closed, it is open, and then the difference between these 2 points of potentials remains same. As you connect the 2 points of the key, immediately from this point towards that point, the charge starts flowing. The charge starts flowing. That means that initial difference in energy acts as a force, because the charge is moving now from A to B, and for any kind of movement a force is necessary. So since there is a movement of charge from A to B, that means there must be a force acting between A and B, and that force is that initial difference of potentials between A and B. That initial difference of potentials between 2 points of any conductor is called electromotive force, or EMF. The initial difference in potentials when between 2 points of a conductor, when the circuit is open, and that difference initially remains same. If you not connect this key, if you not close this circuit, that difference, suppose here there is 12 volt and there is 5 volt, so the difference is 7 volt, and that 7 volts remains constant. Suppose you purchase an electric cell from market, and there is a writing on its side wall, that is 1.5 volt, EMF is 1.5 volt, and if you do not unwrap the cell, that difference remains same for days, weeks, months. But as soon as you unwrap the cell and and connect the 2 cells, the 2 ends of the cells with your fingertip, immediately the charge starts flowing from higher to lower energy level, that is higher to lower energy potential terminals. That is, the charge starts flowing and the difference between the energies starts decreasing. And when the energy difference decreasing, that 1.5 volt starts decreasing, and all those values, suppose from here to there, when the charge starts moving, then the difference starts also decreasing, and all those differences are called potential difference. That means it can be defined as the difference in potentials between 2 points of a conductor when the circuit is closed, and that is called potential difference. That means always the values of potential difference is less than the values of EMFs. But both potential difference and EMF have symbol V, and unit is volt.